Right, Dave, Glenn and Beeb having a rest from touring Queensland. Just like to ask you a couple of questions. Firstly, on, say, patriotism, funny word, in reference to the success that you've had in America, do you feel that you've been sort of neglected a little bit by Australian media and television, say, in comparison to the amount of noise that was made about Sherbet's success in the UK?
Possibly, but we're not really worried about it. It doesn't, you know, we don't get any bad taste in our mouths about it because, you know, we're doing pretty well on the basic scene, you know. I mean, the actual playing and selling of records, the publicity side. We've never been a real high energy publicity band.
Yeah, that's right.
Always adopted fairly low profile.
Would you say that's worked for you in the respect that it's picked up a different sort of audience?
I think primarily that's maybe the reason why we did do that, you know, because, well, they're the sort of people that we're attracting to our concerts anyway. I mean, we get a large cross-section. You still get, you know, young kids coming, but, you know, we see a lot of older people at our concerts as well, really appreciating the music, and that's what we're there to please them for, you know.
Right. Well, whose conception was the Little River Band originally?
Well, it wasn't really a conception as such. I mean, we were known as Mississippi before, and when Mississippi broke up in London, Derek, Graham and myself were talking one day, and we felt that we tried to analyse the band Mississippi and why it sort of wasn't as successful as what it was, and we felt that
an idiot out the front.
Yeah, we needed a dummy out the front. So I knew that he was in England,
and that I was an idiot. Well, I knew that I was an idiot.
And we rang him up, and he came over to our place and played us some of his songs, and we played him some of ours. And he had heard a song called "Early Morning" by Mississippi, which he really loved.
Yeah.
And it's kind of gelled, you know, so we made it a loose arrangement to sort of meet back in Australia. At the same time, Glenn was over there, and I rang Glenn up and said, you know, what are you doing?
Are you interested, yeah?
And we all met sort of around January, February of '75, and we had the basis of the band was there. All we had to find was like a bass player and a lead guitarist, which we did.
Yeah.
Took us about a year, but we did it.
Yeah.
Well, then there was a change, and Dave, you joined the band.
That's right.
Must have been a pretty exciting thing for you.
Yeah, it was a colossal opportunity, joining the band 3 weeks before going to America. You know, I was very pleased.
And how was the American thing for you?
Oh, it was amazing, you know. Like, America's an amazing place.
Yeah, right. Do you think that each of you being major writers within the band, that your songs have improved with the advent of the Little River Band?
Oh, mine have, for sure.
I think that the songs are maturing because probably all of us are maturing as a band, you know. I mean, when you're playing a band,
No, don't start that.
you sort of you live in a very close-knit sort of situation. It's almost like a family, you know. And that's all you do. You grow up together, you know, and you see each other's progress. Like we might see Dave's progress as a guitar player. See, Dave would have learned a lot in recording the Diamantina Cocktail album because that was his first major thing in the studio, you know. But I mean, we're all learning all the time still.
Right. Well, talking about it, Dave, you might like to
hold it up.
hold it up. That's what can you tell us about the new album? How different is it from from the other two albums, and is there anything exceptional on it? I mean, I know the whole thing's exceptional, but
it spawned a great drink. No, it's a natural progression of what we've been doing. Before I was asked, you know, what is our best album now that we've had 3 out. I said, well, you know, in my mind, we don't have a best album because, you know, I like some things on the albums, and there's some things that I think could have been done a bit better. You know?
Every album is a little bit different. The first one was very sort of fresh and young sounding because we'd only been together for a short time. The second one was more of a laid-back sort of album, and this one it's almost like a fusion of the first two. It's got really good songs on it, in our opinion, and the production is very slick as well. You know.
Right. You're going to America again very soon. What are the movements once you get there?
Well, this time we're going the reverse direction. Last time we went via England and Europe first. This time we're going to the West Coast. We land in LA, then we travel up to Spokane, Washington, I think, and start the whole West Coast with various bands. I think we start with Jimmy Buffett. There is talk of some Little Feat dates, but that hasn't been realised as yet, but I hope it does, because that'll be great. I don't think we're going to do much in the middle areas this time. I think we'll concentrate on as Beeb says, the primary targets, you know, like
Yeah.
the large cities, Chicago, and obviously we'll end up somewhere down Florida, and because Florida's sort of our home state in America, for some reason or
Yes.
other.
They've
It's very much like
adopted
Australia
us.
down there.
Yeah, it
Isn't
is.
Like Queensland.
Like
Yeah, like
Surfers
Queensland.
Paradise.
Being patriotic. Okay, well, look, we wish you all the very best, and you've sort of helped put Australian music on the map with integrity, and I think most Australians are proud of you for doing that, and once again, all the best for the overseas trip. We're happy to see you back very
Thank
soon.
you. Thanks
you,
for
Ray.
having
Thank you.
us.
Yeah.
Thanks, Flashes.